All right. We are live over on YouTube. Arrows all over in shock
Awesome.
face. Yes, that's what the thumbnail should have been. Tyler, I might need to hire you. But yo, welcome everybody to the live stream. What is up, YouTube chat, and people that are watching the VOD afterwards. Today I got a special stream in mind. And we're gonna be going over two of some of my favorite Game Boy Advance games that I've ever played. That weren't like Pokemon or anything, but these games are goated. The Legacy of Goku series. And I
Legendary.
also am joined here with Glitched with 2Ds, who is the world record holder of Legacy of Goku 2, who is going to be helping me out with commentary.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? I'm also the record holder for Legacy of Goku 1, so
Oh, are you?
I know a thing or two about this one as well.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I really did my research when I picked out this guy. So yeah.
Yeah, I was just chilling on the side of the road. He was like, "Hey, what's up, man? You want to commentate log
Yeah.
runs?"
No, dude, I've been watching your speed runs like just to like fall asleep to or like anything like that. Like a super chill guy. I was like, no, I gotta get him on the stream and hang out with me and talk about Dragon Ball Z. So
Appreciate that.
let me just double make sure that we're live because I haven't got any confirmation. Do you see it? Oh, we did get a chat message, so we are in fact live. All right, guys.
Yep, I see the chat now.
Well, if you guys
Nice.
can see this right now, make sure you drop a like. I would appreciate it. And let's dude, let's hop in. We got a bunch of tasks to go. We're more
Let's do
so
it.
today we're going to be focused on Legacy of Goku 2, but we're going to throw in Legacy of Goku 1 as a bonus because it's a super short task. And is there anything before I press the play button here and go all the way back? Is there anything that you want to like talk about this game before it just goes off the rails? Anything?
Yeah, I'll say that the combat in this game is very, very finicky. The task makes it look easy, but really it's difficult. The combat in this game is kind of strange in that whenever you attack something, you can only deal damage every other second. So like you can punch maybe 4 times for every second or so, or 2 seconds, but only one of those punches is going to do damage. So the combat in the run is going to be really interesting to watch in the task because they just completely circumvent
It's
that.
all frame perfect.
Right. And same with the movement. The movement is extremely difficult to execute without destroying the run because we'll get into the mechanics of that once we start the run, but movement and combat are going to make this game look a lot better than you remember it because a lot of people kind of knock this game, but I think it's a great speedrun personally.
So when you talk about the combat there, is that unique to this one or is it also in
Yes.
the second game?
It is only unique to this game. I want to say that's just because it was a strange programming choice, but
Yeah.
the rest of the game's combat is fairly straightforward. Damage is instant. Every time you deal an attack or throw out an attack, it's going to deal damage. So that's not quite the case with this one. But yeah, the manipulations done in the tasks and also just being aware of the timings through tasks will definitely get around that.
Also, shout outs to Mug, the task author. 50,000
Oh, yeah.
re-records for such a short task like this. It honestly kind of seems like a lot. So they definitely put a lot of effort into it. This is like 8 years old and nobody has improved the task since, I believe.
It's
Something
very
like
clean.
that. Anyways, yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Let's see what's up. So I will preface, I have purposely not watched this in preparation for this live stream. It's like the opposite thing you should do, but I just wanted to like react to it like with full authenticity. That's why I got this man with me here to explain it all. And why is it 13 minutes? Let's find out.
Oh yeah, we'll find out really quickly here.
I will say,
no,
I
I
watched
think-
the very little beginning and you just start like flying, like spam flying
yeah.
right away.
Yeah, that's the main movement mechanic that we're going to see here once the game starts. It's going to be flight mashing. So flight mashing, in this game you have a flight meter. You see it at the top left every time Goku's flickering around there. The flight meter depletes based on how far you move. So
Oh my.
basically, yeah, the text mashing is immediate. It's frame, like it advances per frame. So
The lore!
mashing goes hard. Yeah. But yeah, flight mashing is like the main movement tech. As long as you cancel your flight before you've moved too far, it won't consume a point. So that's kind of what we're seeing happen here.
And are you supposed to just be flying over everything like that?
Yeah, it's just like some of the, I guess, textures in the background don't have collision. They're just kind of there for decoration.
Right.
But that part that he just went through there is actually pretty hard to get through without dying, because those dogs, if anybody remembers this game, are extremely powerful.
I remember that dinosaur, bro.
Yes, him too. But he's just speeding past everything here.
Yeah.
This game, you know, you kind of just get little mini games completed in the beginning before you get to the main fights from the arcs in the anime. Pick up this girl to return her to her parents. You pick up some flowers for a kid. Things like that. So you get your first experience by talking to Yamcha and Puar. And then this is a really difficult trick that he just did. Didn't look like it, but
no.
Getting off of that mountain is very hard without using too much flight.
Oh, he also got the upgraded flight.
Yeah. Every time you level up, you get an extra point or so added to your flight. So you get a little bit more to explore around with. It also makes movement a lot easier.
I feel like why people may have not liked this game as much is because it's kind of confusing at the very beginning of the game to figure out where to go sometimes. Like for the very beginning. It's tough.
It definitely is because you kind of have to go all around the map, but we're already at
Raditz. Yeah.
Yeah.
Punch.
So this is the combat here.
Are
Notice how he's like waiting.
Leading him anywhere specific or?
Yeah, so he's actually trying to deal damage while bringing him down to Piccolo, because after this fight ends, Piccolo will walk over to you to do Special Beam Cannon. So if you end it next to Piccolo like this, then he'll do it right there, right away.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And he was pausing in between punches there because of what I was saying earlier. If you mash punches, there's like a weird block mechanic in this game where every other punch just won't deal damage. So you kind of have to space them out. But yeah, this is Snake Way here. This is actually really hard to do to get through this. And fighting the Princess Snake, we don't even do this in RTA because it's so hard.
Really?
But yeah, just got rid of her real quick. Anytime he's like taking out enemies, mostly it's because you want experience. Because once you get to Namek, later on, the fights become way too long if you don't have the strength gains from experience. But
would you say he was pretty underleveled for Raditz there?
No,
or not,
I would say
or
he's
not
pretty much
to
on
RTA.
par. Yeah, he's pretty much like on par with RTA because you have to do those quests before you're allowed to progress, and they all level you up and stuff.
Okay. Health and fitness.
Yep. So yeah, he's just returning the little lost souls to the Soul Keeper guy here. It's another thing that'll give you XP.
Funny.
Yeah, he's just zooming, man.
It's so fast though, like compared to what you'd be doing alternatively.
Yeah. So before I did the run, nobody was flight mashing that much. They'd only flight mash in periods where you had to move in a straight line. But once I started doing the run, I was like, you know what, man, we got to put some more flight into this thing. So I just started flight mashing everywhere. And
yeah.
it takes a toll on you, man. It's very difficult. You have to double tap R to do this. So yeah, you can imagine doing it at this speed. Yeah.
How Goku got a six-pack.
This is exactly
every time he does that, he's crunching. Oh, I like that at the end there, just using the very last little bit of the flight because you're gonna pick it back up anyways.
Yeah, just might as well run with the full flight, because actually flying rather than flight mashing is still faster. But you have to maintain your flight. So yeah, these are the boys here, the gatekeepers. Once you return all the souls, you're actually allowed to leave. So
how is this whole game shorter than a Dragon Ball Z episode, bro?
I know.
Like one, let alone a fight.
Seriously, man. 5 minutes. Never forget. So yeah, right here, like, this is a pretty easy movement to go through in Snake Way because they add red flight orbs, and those fully regenerate your flight, so. This minigame is evil. He just made it look so easy. But yes.
No, I know. I remember that now. I remember that. Yes. No, that's so bad. Yeah. I can't imagine doing that in a speedrun context. No.
It is horrible. Like, Bubbles and Gregory are impossible to catch sometimes, man. Like, you actually feel like you're Goku in that episode.
Alright.
So, yeah, we're just in the city now. Like, we pretty much do not interact with the city because this is one of the only skips we can do. That area is supposed to be blocked off by story flags, but you can just fly past the gate and just skip it and go fight Vegeta. So we don't do anything in the city. Very well so. So yeah, this movement is mostly to time the attacks to where they actually deal damage, and I think there's also some manipulation done here to make sure he's getting high damage rolls, because that fight was insanely quick. You're on top of your attacks not always dealing damage, so they deal damage within a range of damage. So like one punch could do 2,000 damage, or it could do like 1,200.
Oh, so he's just
Yeah.
Is he like always manipulating the highest roll, like, for sure?
I think so, from what I can tell, because he's also shooting like key blasts and things like that in between, which normally don't do damage, but I'd imagine that's just to kind of manipulate a frame that does higher damage.
I see. Makes sense.
Yeah.
So you're saying the Kai blasts don't do damage, but do they still give like iframes?
Well, they do damage, but not nearly as much as a punch.
Okay.
Usually you'd have to charge it up. You can kind of hold the button down to charge the key blast attacks, and the more it's charged, the more damage it does. He's just doing like the basic tap B button.
Monkey.
Big monkey. Vegeta just got squashed, man.
Dude, rap battle right there. And then here we go.
All right, so Namek
I think it's about to get funny.
It is about to get funny. There is a strat that's done in this task that we cannot do in RTA because it is so insane.
Oh boy.
Normally what we would do here in RTA is we'd grind on a lot of Frieza soldiers here so that we could get to a certain level to where our damage is enough to actually finish the fight. But he's collecting the two, like the red and blue gems, and death abusing so that he can spawn back in front of the temple. Because the temple's where you need to take those. 07.
Yeah, I was gonna say you do need to go in here though, right? I was making sure that this wasn't skipped too.
No, yeah, you actually have to go through this still, and I think he just avoids all the enemies here. We would too in RTA, but you just kind of go through. You pick up the green orb here.
Figuring out you can go through there took me forever.
Oh yeah, I know. There's no indicator other than that little pointer.
The hand.
Like pointing, hey, you go this way, buddy. But it's like, I mean, it looks like a wall to me, dude.
Kind of broke my brain when I was like 10, probably.
Oh yeah, man. I had no idea where I was going in this game. So yeah, there's a very particular order you want to step on these switches. Otherwise, you'll just get teleported back and forth between places you've already been.
Oh, those statues were dope. I do remember these statues being dope.
Yeah, no, they're sick.
For
once
like
you get here.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Once you get here, you just get a pretty nice level up from completing that quest, and then this is where it's like actually cracked. So instead of grinding on Frieza soldiers earlier, this man solos the entire Ginyu Force at the same time, plus a Frieza soldier. So this looks crazy, man. So the punch invulnerability thing. Yeah, no, he's throwing hands, man. Look at this. He's all three at once.
No, that's
the movement
crazy.
Here is crazy. There's a charged Kamehameha. Those actually do a ton of damage if you can charge them up.
I remember like exclusively like mostly spamming those whenever I could.
Yeah, no, they're really good.
Damn, the health on these lads.
Yeah, they have a ton because you're under leveled at this point for sure. Like these guys are catching you up in level. We don't fight these guys because of this, because they do a lot of damage themselves, and they're just really difficult to defeat all at once like that. Doing them individually would take too long.
Yeah. I expect to see that in your next run.
No, yeah, 100%, dude. I got this.
Just a hand over here, punch over there.
And yeah, like the Ginyu Force will put you at such a high level that Frieza will be so much faster than the R strat that we do in RTA. So it makes sense that they do this in the TAS. Normally you can like do a skip here as well, actually, where you just fly into a loading trigger to skip this whole area, and you don't have to defeat them, but otherwise you would.
Also, you got 33 flight now.
Yeah, tons of levels up from that. And we're pretty much already almost at the end. Like, we're about to fight Frieza here in a minute. Lightning speed, man. RTA, we usually do a grind in that room too, because there's so many Frieza soldiers, but he's gotten so much EXP that it doesn't even matter. And here's the man himself.
We're already here?
We're already here, and we gotta fight all the forms of Frieza, first through final. So what we do here in RTA, normally we do the invincibility glitch, so if you get hit by a Ki Blast while you're in flight, it'll ground you, but the enemies won't be able to detect where you are because they think you're flying still. So we would just stand still and punch Frieza in the face for 5 minutes.
I do remember that glitch. And
yeah, that glitch saved
a
lot of us.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Frieza was insanely difficult. Like, yeah, I was on game FAQs, like, typing up the storm, like, figuring out, what am I doing, bro? Ooh!
I know, man. Full charge is great. That does a lot of damage at this point, especially at this level. But the benefit of not doing the flight glitch, when you do the flight glitch, your Ki meter, you see how it's recharging in green up there in the top left? The Ki meter will not recharge if you're in the invincibility glitch.
Oh.
But since he's just kind of flying around, you know, manipulating damage rolls and stuff, the Ki actually gets to charge, so he gets to rip a lot more Kamehameha. But yeah, Frieza just can't keep up, man. He's like, bro, what is the Saiyan energy?
This must be the legendary Super Saiyan. BBM says this TAS guy's pretty good.
Yeah, TAS is pretty cracked, man. One of the best speedrunners of all time. Yeah, I'm actually surprised that his HP is so low here. It might just be a flex. It might be just kind of a result of having to take hits and things to move around and do manips, but you get health back when you level up, which he just did. I don't know why third form Frieza looks like such a creature in this version. He's so scrunkly.
They did the best they could.
They did. There we go. That was really fast though, because he has a ton of health. I think this Frieza has like 100,000 health or something like that, and your punches are maybe doing like 5k in RTA. Rip Krillin, he was a real one. Super Saiyan, you're just busted. Like you do so much damage, it's crazy. If you could have this in the run, it would be so much better. But this is the only time you get it in the whole game. Just doing a little bit more of the...
Man, they should make a second one of these.
Yeah, I mean, I think that'd be pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie. Just kind of flexing, going back and forth there. Gotta finish with the special.
Beautiful.
But that's it, yeah.
Yeah, well, that was a speed run.
That was a speed run of all time. Yeah, it goes so fast in the TAS, it's like hard to capture everything that's really happening. Especially because the movement, it goes so quick. Like, the Bubbles and Gregory, I cannot stress enough, they are monsters. They are so evil in the run.
Well, here, I'm going to switch over to our other scene here. And that was the bonus. The bonus comes before, because this game came before, but we do... apparently, they did make a second game, and they made a TAS for it, too. Oh my gosh. You got to hop on that, bro. You gotta hop on.
You're right.
I don't know how long this has been out, but like, dang, bro.
I heard it just came out, honestly, like a couple weeks ago, bro.
But yeah, so
this is the real
this
meat.
is the main event is this Legacy of Goku 2 TAS. This one was made by ASDQ, and they actually have commentary for us on the side too. So you guys will be getting the commentated. Where Glitch is mostly going to be relaying a lot of what happens in the speedrun, and then like just explaining like, wow, that's insane, or no, that's actually something we regularly do. But there's a lot of really cool data points on here, such as like health values. They have all 5 of the Z fighters. I think you only play as 5 in this game.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And
well, you could get Hercule if you get level 50 with all characters, but that's a grind. That's not what we're doing in the run, unfortunately.
And then this was like nearly a 2-minute improvement over... I'm trying to remember the name.
Bone Crusher.
Bone Crusher.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but yeah, this person kind of came out of nowhere with this. They're just like, yeah, I like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, and also apparently this game, and they just posted the TAS of it, and have almost no online presence outside of this, and let's see what they cooked up.
Some gamers come to cook, and that is all.
Yeah, so again, on the right side here, there will be some extra info. So feel free to point that out anytime you see something that's like worth bringing more attention to. And then on the left there is an input display.
Right, yeah. These little Dragon Ball symbols here with the empty Z symbol, these are just going to be tracking the character stats for the run. So, I guess since we're just starting off the run, we start off in the History of Trunks special, which is kind of cool. Not a lot of Dragon Ball games kind of do that chronologically, but they kind of use this to teach you like the mechanics of the game. So, he's just going to be breaking a rock and going up to actually get into the android fight here. But yeah, basically tech smashing is A and B. You alternate A and B to get it to go as fast as it possibly can. You can see that on the little tracker on the left. And movement in this game is done by double tapping the directional buttons, which makes it extremely hard to get like concise lines and not... You can also bonk into walls. That's the other brutal thing. So,
and in order to change your direction, you can go in a slight diagonal, but in order to completely change your direction, you're gonna have to stop running for a second, right?
Yeah, exactly. And the TAS can do that frame perfectly, so it'll look like they're moving like seamlessly. But in RTA, you would see the character stop and then kind of start up their run again. But that's one of the crazy things about the TAS is the movement, because you can just watch this Trunks getting here. Like, it doesn't even look like he had to stop because it was inputted frame perfect.
Dude, the actual like frame perfect movement just looks so smooth, especially if you played this game before.
Does. Oh yeah, and no bonks either, man. The bonks can get frustrating. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, each bonk's probably a couple seconds, like.
Yeah, it's like a second and a half or something like that. It gets brutal, and especially when enemies are involved. If you bonk, yeah, it's rip. But yeah, we're just starting off in East District, Goku's home. You're playing as Gohan. This should really be called Legacy of Gohan because it's all about the Saiyans or the Cell Saga and his growth during that. But Goku's here too. I mean, sure. But this right here is just kind of a little tutorial segment. You're just going through, picking up this math book just to know, hey, I know how to pick up items in this game. And the moving around in this house is actually really hard because there's so many walls and like twists and turns. So doing it fast is very difficult in RTA. But once you get it, take a little nap, you fall asleep studying, and you get to your first fight, which is Frieza. So it's kind of cool that we instantly start from the final boss of the last game.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
This right there, that's like a little level door. So those doors have to be busted by whatever level your character is. Gohan starts at level 1. Mm-hmm. So obviously they just kind of introduce that mechanic to you there. But here we'll see how the combat works.
Oh yeah, let's see that first.
Yeah, so pretty much, yeah, like it's saying in the commentary here, punches have the highest DPS, and every time you punch an enemy, it kind of sends them up or down. So you want to alternate pressing up punch, down punch, to kind of keep them wrapped up in a loop. And the faster you do that, the more damage you're outputting, and you finish the fight there with the Ki Blast because they do more damage at the start of the game at level 1.
The combat seems much more nuanced in this one compared to the first.
Oh yeah, it definitely is. The first one, you just go invincible and just start wailing, but in this game, it's actually kind of technical to keep enemies locked down and dealing as much damage as you possibly can.
Okay, but the text boxes aren't as satisfying, so, you know, it loses a point for that.
No, not at all, man. The text boxes are so fast in Log 1.
I love it. They probably had to change it because people were probably missing, like, text boxes.
Yeah, literally. It's like, wait, where am I supposed to go?
The game runs its anti-piracy check every time you enter this district, I guess.
Yeah, like the world map. At that point, when you leave, if you're on like a sus copy of the game, it'd be like, you can't play anymore.
Makes sense. And yeah, this is like the first one to introduce that flying mechanic, which is a nice little touch.
Yeah, this right here is, it looks so easy, but bro, that is one of the ultimate
No,
run
it doesn't
killers
look
in
easy.
RTA. In RTA, man, getting past those 3 tigers, the game wants you to defeat them because they're blocking your way. But you're supposed to kind of like punch them real quick, punch them out of the way, and take a beeline to the side of them. And sometimes if you miss that punch timing, it is extremely precise. They'll just start knocking you around, and once you get put in stun, it's kind of like you get stun locked sometimes, especially if there's multiple enemies. So yeah, no, that was insane.
These games are not pushovers. Like they're
Not at all.
Like if you just are missing some attacks and like don't hit stun the opponent, you're next.
Yeah, 100%. Like, the main thing about them being punishing is they're punishing in different ways. Like, Legacy of Goku 1 is punishing with its flight management, and then this game is punishing with, like, everything. Like, the movement, the combat, everything. I would say this is definitely the hardest log game to run of the 3. Boo's Fury kind of, like, made some quality of life changes and stuff. You got some equipment to help you move faster. Super Saiyan is, like, mega fast. But in this, like, it's kind of like a balance between the first and the third, and yeah, the punishment is severe if you're not accurate.
Also, the cutscenes are so much better in this game too, and you get the best character in the series. You get Trunks with the sword.
Yes, sir. Just had to come and clean up the Frieza crew real quick, just to flex, you know.
I mean, dude, what an entrance to like a season of an anime, right? Like,
dude. It was unreal.
Coming out and one-shotting the like main antagonist of the previous series.
Yeah, we watched Goku fight Frieza for like 30 episodes. Almost die on Namek, and this boy just comes out one slice. It's over, Chief.
He's seen some shit. He's not letting anybody have any chances of survival.
Nuh-uh.
No.
So yeah, this is like kind of a big downtime part of the run. We're just like, you know, enacting what was going on in that introduction to this android saga. Trunks is, you know, telling the lore like, yo man, here's what's going on in the future. But Goku's back, so it is the legacy of Goku after all.
Oh.
Exactly. So
the character of the title, he's here. Woo.
All the boys are there to greet him. Trunks knew that he'd be here, so we met up. And then, yeah, this is just a big lore dump. Basically, this game very accurately follows the story of the Android and Cell saga.
Even the accurate Bulma hairstyle.
Yeah, and it does change.
Yeah, it does change.
So it's pretty cool. Like, this was a really good way to consume the story of Dragon Ball. Because, you know, back then, we didn't have on-demand streaming. We had maybe VHS tapes of the show, but like other than that, a lot of what we got was from the game. So this was like a really good way to get all that.
No, these games, especially Boo's Fury 2, they do a great job of recreating the story.
Oh yeah, Boo's is great as well.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot to mention, although you guys probably noticed, the music in these games is great. It's great.
Oh yeah, it is super good.
Like, especially for a Game Boy Advance game. Like, usually, I don't know, a lot of Game Boy games just have
really crunchy sounding music.
Exactly. I was trying to figure out a good word to describe it, but nothing so like melodic and
right. Yeah, it's very complex sounding and honestly really cool. Like, each area has its own unique soundtrack. A lot of them are renditions of like the Faulconer soundtrack from the English dub of Dragon Ball. A lot of people don't know this, but this game is originally made in like the USA. I'm pretty sure it's either USA or like PAL region, but it's not Japanese. We actually ported this game to Japan because it was that.
Did not know that.
Yeah. So we are in the Sus realm now. This part is another major run killer. Pretty much anywhere where you have to run with just Gohan at a low level is so hard. You're rescuing the kids from a bus crash. So the bus crashed somehow in the mountains, and you're going to be taking extremely tight lines to avoid fighting these enemies. We're going to fight some enemies like after we rescue the first kid just to get some levels. I'm actually not sure if this task does it, but you do want to level up Gohan just a little bit so that later parts of the game are a little bit easier. But yeah, we're just very tightly avoiding these enemies because enemies can kind of detect you when you're in their sight. You see how that wolf turned around? and notice you, but sometimes they kind of derp out and they just don't really attack you.
Yeah, you said right there. They used the Kai Blast frame perfectly with the cutscene starting to for manipulation there.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Honestly, you could probably manip the enemy to just stand still or change their pathing, because when you enter a room, the pathing is always the same for enemies. It only changes when they react to you. So you can kind of plan that out or manip it as you see fit.
So apparently there's some enemies that they literally could not manipulate out of the way. Like they had to deal with those snakes. They had to punch them.
Yeah. The path they take
they
is
have
just
to deal
so
with it.
brutal. Yeah.
It's crazy to think, even with being able to do perfect movement and perfect, like, as many times as you want, they still just couldn't get through.
Yeah. There are
That's
some
brutal.
things that are just hard-coded to troll us, unfortunately. Yeah, this part here
Wow.
in RTA is so difficult because you have to make it through all of this with like 1 health bar. So you have all these enemies that can knock you around, stun lock you, do whatever. And the only time you get your health back in this game is if you break a rock, get some health, which is an RNG drop, or if you level up. And you
Right.
don't want to spend too much time fighting and leveling up, so you got to just kind of run through it.
Oh yeah, I remember the days of like, man, I need this level up, or I'm not gonna be able to get through this
Yeah,
section.
I'm not gonna
I
survive,
need
dude.
this.
Yep. So yeah, once you turn in the kids, it unlocks the quest for getting Piccolo. So to get Piccolo, you have to get this newspaper, take it to a guy, trade it for a sandwich, trade the sandwich for an autograph for a record, and then you can finally get Piccolo. So it's a bunch of like fetch questing and running around the city, but it's
Game looks
it's
so
pretty
nice,
difficult.
man. Like, I don't know, if you were like playing Pokemon Emerald and then you played this, you're like, wow.
Yo, yeah, like
Yeah,
it's
and Pokemon
very
Emerald looks
detailed with
great.
its sprite work.
But like,
Yeah,
this game definitely took it a notch up.
definitely. So there we go. Now we're giving Herc the sandwich. He gives us the autograph, but he's like, "All right, now I can start my parade." But actually, this music is trash. I need Eyes of the Lion, bro. So you gotta go get your record, and then you trade that for, or you actually go pick it up from the antique store, because this guy doesn't have it, unfortunately. Yeah, navigating through the city is kind of hard because of these like trees that you see there. They have a huge hitbox, so kind of going around them is pretty difficult. You have to know the lines ahead of time. It's very easy to bonk into them and get stuck between them.
I like that you can just go into most of these buildings as well. It's like, I don't know, there's certain elements that are missing from other Dragon Ball Z games that you don't really get to interact with the game world, where in this game you do. You can just go and do whatever you want.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And there's like tons of different towns and stuff kind of hidden in some of the areas you have to fight in and things like that that do have lots of NPCs and things. But yeah, here's where we're explaining the character stats, so you can see that on the commentary there. So
Ooh, he's so much better.
characters- oh yeah, Piccolo is way stronger. We're gonna be using him for a while here. But when you first get a character, they have a level that they start at. So Piccolo, I believe, starts at level 10, and every time whenever you first interact with the characters, when their stats are determined. And when you level up in this game, it rolls randomly from 0 to 2. So you could get like strength plus 0, power plus 2, endurance plus 1. It can roll any different way, and he kind of did a little manip there. It does suck. It's a huge reset point for the run. But in TAS, we don't gotta worry about that because we're manipping. So he did like he said he did a little dance with Gohan to manip the stat roll for Piccolo. And you want to prioritize strength over power because punches are just better DPS than energy, and you don't have a limited resource with punches. You can just do it forever.
Excuse me, sir.
Nice.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me.
Stutters, that's crazy.
There's somewhere I
That is
must
so hard
be.
to do.
People I must meet.
Oh my!
That's low health.
They're gonna do this fight with -1 HP. That's crazy.
Alright.
This fight is also very difficult. It's a huge execution test of pressing up punch, down punch. Yeah, you can stun lock the Triceratops, but the thing is, every time they get punched, they move in they drift in random directions. They can kind of drift a little bit left, a little bit right, And you have to adjust for that depending on where they go, but just mopped the guy. Like, it's over.
You know, I'm not sure if Piccolo would have planned out his strategy like that, going in with 1 health. Like, just see his clothes just tattered, and he's just like, all right, fuck up some dinosaurs.
Heck yeah, dude. So yeah, we're gonna get a guest appearance from Cooler here. Why? I don't know. He's just here. Just wanted to show off the fact that he's in the game, I guess. But he stops you. He's like, hey, bro, I'm Cooler. So I'm a post-game boss that you're not going to see at all until the end of the game. And you might not even see me anyway, but see you later.
Peace.
Yeah. So now we got that done. Triceratops will level you up. You usually don't fight anything else with Piccolo in that area other than Triceratops, which makes it kind of difficult. Usually in the run, like in RTA, we don't stop to look at our stats. We just pray that we got a good stat roll, and we can tell usually by the damage rolls we get. So like if you get like a 27 when you're punching the first enemy with Piccolo, you're like, oh yes, I'm in there, dude. But if you get like an 18, you're like, why? I have to reset now.
The dog's the mayor? Or...
Yeah. Mayor dog.
I couldn't even remember.
Yeah.
How much of a role he has in the show?
Yeah, I don't even remember him in the show either, to be honest. Probably just like a random background character type of deal. But this old man stole the key to the city, so we're chasing him.
Well, I love how original Dragon Ball would just like have, just random talking animals, and then they kind of had to stick with it because like the whole show is supposed to be kind of like a joke, like a, but then they made it like an actual anime.
Yeah,
so I remember like one of my favorite characters on the background was just like a giraffe.
Yeah.
Like,
there's so many random like creatures in the Dragon
cheering
Ball
for him in the world tournament.
Cool. Yeah.
Original Dragon Ball was goated, dude. So
it's
good.
My favorite, 100%. I wish we do have Advanced Adventure. I was gonna say I wish we had a log for that game, man. But Advanced Adventure, that does the job. Yeah, now we're just trying to get the key back here, and avoiding all those bazooka guys can be annoying because if you get caught in one of those missiles, like you are getting stun locked good 80% of the time.
Do you see how much work they put into that random guy's house?
Yeah, dude, look how cool that is.
Holy crap! You're never gonna see that again. Like, the attention to detail is wild.
It was really cool, man. They really pulled out the stops for this one. Yeah, this little area here, we just run out. In the RTA run, we actually pick up a capsule. So capsules in this game are kind of like your stat boosting items. You can find them in chests like this one here. That's the key that we need, but there's other chests scattered around and things. You can get capsules from anywhere from I think +1 to +5. Most of them are going to be +1 or +3. So he skipped the capsule actually in this TAS. So I think it's a power capsule that's in there, which can help Piccolo later for certain fights like 17 or Piccolo. But since we have the broken DPS of punches and frame perfect punches at that, it's not really important to have a power stat.
So that's not something you would grab in RTA either?
I grab it sometimes because there are times like you have to grind. There's a portion where you have to grind as Piccolo and you're very under-leveled, and Special Beam Cannon can literally save your life. And if it does more damage, it is a lot better to save your life with. So
that's fair.
I do pick it up. It's like a 1 second time loss and maybe like a second or two to use it. But they don't do it in the TAS because, yeah, they're probably going to just make light work of the grinding segment. Yeah, now we finished everything in West City. We're going to, I think, East District to start training in the mountains with Goku and Gohan.
Whoa.
So we're just kind of preparing.
What was that little, he does a little dance to manip a +2 strength on Gohan.
Yes, yeah. So RNG advances in this game based off of like your inputs and your movement. So doing certain things like moving left, right punch, like that'll change the RNG manip that you're gonna get from this upcoming level up, because after this like time skip here for training, you level up a few times here, and you get some extra skills. So that level up, that little manip was done to give higher stats in the punches for Gohan there. Yeah, now we're gonna go meet the android. So I forget. I think it's Ginger Town.
Piccolo's just being the best dad he can, giving his Giving his kid the highest strength possible.
Exactly, bro. Here we go, yeah. I'm gonna nip it in the bud, exactly. Gotta do it early. So we're talking to Yajirobe. I'm actually surprised they do this in the TAS too. You get a Sensu Bean. Anytime you find Yajirobe in the map, he's in like a couple areas in the game. He'll give you a Sensu Bean. And it's a full HP and ki regeneration item. It's really good. I pick up an extra one in the school bus segment where you're saving the kids, because you can find him there too.
Mhm.
But that one is easily the fastest one to get. It's like 1 second out of the way.
With TAS
yeah.
with TAS menuing, how quickly can you consume one?
Probably
say?
about a second
Yeah.
or less, honestly. The menus are pretty responsive in the game. The only thing that's a little bit laggy is switching tabs from like character to items. But yeah, I would say probably like a second or 3 seconds or so.
Mashing the D-pad every frame is the most effective way to advance RNG.
Correct. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's per input, it changes the outcome. So that makes sense that they can kind of just mess around with it until they get a proper value that they're looking for. So yeah, Vegeta stats, you can see, as you can see over there, can be very, very wild. Like they can be all over the place. Yeah, and we're always looking for the most strength. The least strength that they showed there was 22. That is horrible. The highest strength was I think like 35 or 32, something like that. But yeah, it looks like they even had to settle for a midpoint Vegeta, because Vegeta's power stat actually matters a lot. Because he gets an attack later that is a punch, but it consumes energy and does more damage. So you want to have a good power stat with Vegeta as well, but you definitely prioritize strength.
But they said they went with the more balanced one, so they didn't go with the high strength one.
Yeah, they probably went with the balanced one because of what I'm saying. Like
yeah, exactly.
You get like an energy punch thing, and it functions exactly like a punch, but it consumes energy. So it makes sense to take the balanced one versus the one with really low power, because the power punch actually does more damage than a regular punch when you get to use it. So yeah, this part right here, we're just kind of going through avoiding these tigers, but we do have to take out these robots coming up because they are like keeping the gate closed. So this is a very good Vegeta. Yeah, that was sick. That is impossible to do. But yeah, Super Saiyan increases your speed quite a lot. So if you can use it for movement, you want to. You also enter Super Saiyan here because you're going to fight Android 19 right now. So entering the fight as Super Saiyan is better than having to run away from him, hide from him, and change into Super Saiyan. Normally in RTA, we look for about 80 damage, hitting for 80 damage on 19. Like I'm saying, like we normally look for damage rolls on punches that we get to tell how strong we are.
Right.
So we'll see how strong that this balanced Vegeta is compared to like the high strength build. If it's hitting 80,
it's gonna be a quick fight.
Very high. Oh yeah, it's gonna be quick no matter what. Let's see. Oh yeah, this is a great Vegeta.
Wow.
And you can get crits too. You see that hitting for 163. Those are critical hits.
Jeez.
So you can get crits, and you can manip crits as well. I'm pretty sure I've seen them do that a little bit later in the run. Yeah, that was very clean.
Yeah, those punches are no joke.
Vegeta the GOAT for real, dude. He's very important in the run. Like, if you have a weak Vegeta, you are losing major time because you have to use him a lot in this run, actually. But yeah.
I mean, would that just be a reset for you, or like it's not that bad, but still bad?
Oh yeah, if you get a bad Vegeta, it's a reset because
Dang.
he has some of the segments that are the longest that you have to fight the most enemies in. So you lose so much time if your Vegeta's not strong.
Oh my gosh, The Rock.
Yeah, The Rock is
Johnson
actually
here for the assist.
Let's go, Dwayne. Yeah, sometimes enemies can get stuck on like surfaces like that rock corner or the wall, and they won't bounce because they're supposed to bounce every time you hit them up against the wall. They bounce off of it, But sometimes they can just get stuck, and it's a lot faster than having to do up-down to combo them. But yeah, they were saying in the commentary there, they can't transform into Super Saiyan until this little yellow triangle next to their health and energy is full. That's kind of like your transformation gauge. It's separate from energy. But yeah, like, since he did the fight so fast originally and reverted in Super Saiyan before this fight began, the transformation gauge was not charged up enough.
Right.
But it was still really fast.
Yeah, wasn't needed, and
now we can transform.
Doing it now.
Yeah. It filled up by the end of the fight. So probably transforming before getting here. This is a little bit different than what we do in the run. Normally we would be reverting because the fight is ending with our Super Saiyan gone. But yeah, it looks like they transformed ahead of time so that once they land here, they can get full benefits of movement speed to get through all this stuff. Because honestly, the faster you move, the easier it is to dodge a lot of these enemies.
Ooh,
so
that
Super
was
Saiyan
nice.
is really clutch. Yeah.
You have to destroy the rocks, but he also got drops off of them.
Yeah. Yeah. They actually manipulated those drops, I believe, to be the strongest key regeneration drops. So this right here, this is Gero, and you're kind of traveling through the mountains to find his lab, and you're chasing after him. You have to fight him maybe like 3 or 4 times. I forget exactly how many. But yeah, you want to keep Super Saiyan up as long as you can while you have these fights with him. This is the second one here. He's probably going to clean him up before.
Right. Oh, the Sensu Bee!
Oh, yo, it came in clutch. Let's go, Bone Crusher. There we go. Yeah, so that's actually an interesting place to use the Sensu. I might use that. But yeah, they use the Sensu being there to maintain their energy to get through that fight and also get through that area. That area with the robots they just ran through is very difficult. You have to get there at a specific timing, and you have to enter the room at a specific height, because where you enter the room, the game remembers. So it's not just going to spawn you in the middle of the room every time. It'll spawn you where you entered at. And that is very important for like manipulating movement. But here's the dreaded eggs.
So they're lightly explaining the save button glitch. Oh, they're kind of showing it in the corner. Wait, what the heck?
Yeah. I actually don't know what this is. I had seen this when I was watching this task, but I didn't know how this would have ended up with them skipping a cycle on the eggs, is what they're saying they're trying to use it for.
Yeah.
I really don't know. Maybe just to like death abuse and respawn here next to the save or something.
Either way, it didn't
Not
work
sure.
apparently. So
yeah, this split right here is probably one of the hardest. Even as someone who played the game casually, you will see this and you will have flashbacks to horrible memories because these eggs are extremely difficult to carry back.
I do remember
you have
that.
to pick them up. Yeah, you have to pick them up and take it back to the dinosaur without getting hit once. You can't get hit a single time, and the enemy's pathings are difficult. You can't attack while holding an egg. Nothing like that. So you have to just get through it with pure movement. But they make it look crazy, like that. That's so cool. Yeah, that was it.
Was there some
3
filler
eggs.
that I missed that he collected a bunch of eggs?
Nah, I think this is some game exclusive filler here. I recently watched like the OG with filler and all, and I don't remember no dinos.
I don't remember. Vegeta becoming friends with them. Is this Dragon Ball Z or Barney, bro?
Seriously, man.
Whoa, wait.
Super Saiyan swagger.
What are these? Calling hacks.
Oh yeah, dude. That is one of the easiest places to get stun locked in the game, because those little robot like fly enemies, they have a very long attack. It's like a very long beam, and its range is unfair. Like, you will be outside of its range visually, but you'll still get hit. Like, it's got one of those hitboxes. So sneaking his way through and avoiding them all like that was cracked. Same with those. That's another place to get stun locked. This whole segment is a huge reset point as well, just because of how hard it is to optimally defeat the enemies, fight the bosses, and move through everything.
Yeah.
Like, it's very difficult.
The movement
here.
looks really tough. Like, you just have to constantly redirect. trees.
Yeah, take little stutter steps to
Ooh.
kind of influence how they're moving. But that was really cool. I didn't know they did that in the TAS. You can group attack. Your hitboxes are huge. Like, it doesn't look like it, but your hitboxes
it did
are
from
very big.
that one of those earlier robots, like a couple screens ago. Like, you hit it behind him.
Yeah. It's usually better. Your hitbox is usually better if you're attacking up or down. That's partially why we do the little stun lock that we do. It's kind of wider on either side, I believe. But even sideways, it's pretty dang big if you're in a good position. This is actually a capsule here, so they do pick this up. I do use this in RTA as well. It's +3 strength.
Oh, for an experience grind, they said. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. They do even need an experience grind, even though they can do perfect combat.
Yeah, it's just that later areas in the game give you more experience, and a lot of places in the game are locked off behind level doors, like the ones we saw in the very beginning. So you're kind of get some forced grind segments.
Overlapping that animation was pretty cool too. That's smart.
Yeah, he like shot some key blasts to break the generator and exited the room at the same time.
And then play the cutscene as he like went back to normal.
Yeah, as he's leaving the room. Oh, and reverting. Yeah, right.
Right.
Just
Might
walk
as well.
straight past those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, any enemy with a projectile, like those bomb tigers, these missile guys, like, I don't play with them, man.
Imagine if Vegeta just running through here, you just one-shot some guy with an RPG, and the other guys are like, hey! Where's he going?
Right oh yeah, here's another instance of that, using the cutscene to transform, skip the animation. So the androids are waking up. This is another kind of downtime period where it's just kind of going over deep lore dumps. I'm surprised that the TAS isn't in Japanese. The Japanese version of this game, even though like it's not the native version, is faster because text box mashing is way faster in Japanese. But they also have like some interesting differences, like different character portraits, things like that. So.
Are there like any values that are different to your knowledge, or have you not done that
I think so.
deep dive?
Yeah. I haven't done it too much, but from what I've heard, it's like a frame off in some of its tricks, which is kind of weird. Like, there's a bunch of different versions of this game. There's the regular base version. There's the 2-in-1 cartridge with Boost Fury, and there's Japanese, and they all kind of behave a little bit differently in certain aspects. So maybe it has to do with that. You know, maybe the English version is easier for TAS stuff.
They're also playing the background music, which apparently is a time waste.
So I've heard. I haven't seen any raw data on that.
No, there's no way.
Believe...
Like that's not something that can just be a rumor. It's either.
Yeah, I know, but like, man, the music is so hard, man. Come on, let me listen to it.
I feel you.
But no, I'm actually not sure, because I've heard from like Mike Soul, who said, well, it's supposed to save like a frame per transition screen. But then again, I'm like, well, how did they test that? Like, were they testing it in the proper FPS? You know, all that stuff. So you never know.
Yeah, I would say you need a gentleman's agreement, but I think it might be too late for Boost Fury.
Yeah. Oh, yo, the combo. Yeah, they actually made use of one of those glitches. So that is one of the glitches that is different between the Japanese version. The timing for it is different by like a frame.
Still lost.
If you... yeah, sorry, Vegeta.
Sorry,
can't win anywhere, man. It's all good. But yeah, like if you press B right when you land, when you're hovering over Big Bang and your energy options, it'll charge the Big Bang attack as the cutscene's going on. So the more you charge it, the more damage it does. And he let it rip right after the cutscene ended. It got to charge about halfway, and he comboed her into it, which is just insane. Like,
everyone's dead, and Krillin's
like
over here rizzing.
Yeah, dude, he has to. He has to shoot a shot, man. Hey, it's probably because of Krillin that they got to get out of there. So shout out to the boy.
Yep.
Big Bang combination for real, dude. Yeah, the dude's flexing a little bit, moving the text boxes as they go. Prevents you from moving on the world map fade in. Oh yeah, that is right. I didn't really notice that. Yeah, there's certain like prompts whenever you get in the world map that'll be like, oh, new location or new quest added, whatever.
The lookout's really broken in Boo's Fury since you can like fly when you're Super Saiyan 3 and you're not supposed to.
Yeah, it's crazy. It causes a bunch of weird graphical effects and stuff.
And you can
so it looks like
also do the sensu bean underflow. But yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, right, yeah, infinite sensu beans. Yeah, I think that, what they had just said was that they were trying to manipulate Trunks' stats as well, and they found the easiest way to do that was just to bump into something. So they just gave Mr. Popo a little bonk real quick, and now we're going to have a cracked Trunks.
Nice.
So
52 strength.
Yeah. Big man,
He's the
dude.
drink.
Like, that is, he is the drink.
we were just playing as the cup.
And the drink. Yeah, no. When you see that strength in the yellow, you're a happy man. Like, you're like, heck yeah, man. So this starts the grind segment. So in this area, we got to get Trunks to level 30 and Piccolo to level 25, I believe. Trunks starts at level 25, if I'm not mistaken. But this is a great area right here to grind because there's very high EXP enemies.
Wow.
Oh god, dude, he's so strong.
Dude.
Such a strong Trunks.
Dude, a beverage of swords.
Of swords, man.
No,
like,
this is actually insane. Like
yeah,
10-year-old me
damage
cannot
numbers
comprehend what is
cracked.
happening here.
It looks like they're actually doing the grind in a different place. So they're doing the grind in this room. I guess it might have a little bit more enemies.
Just taking out multiple
at
once.
Yeah. That's definitely easier to do here because of the way the enemies are laid out. Obviously, when it comes to doing the run in RTA, you want to try to stack them all together the best you can so you're not individually fighting multiple guys. Same with this in the TAS.
Yeah, they didn't waste too much time trying to actually manipulate anything. If you could even just, doing the best they could.
Yeah.
With each screen.
Yeah, like I was saying before, like, until an enemy detects you, their path is set in every room. Like, they're always going to take the same movement path, but if they see you, then they're going to break out of that and start moving towards you.
Okay,
so,
that makes sense why they're essentially doing essentially the same thing every time. Well,
right,
somewhat.
Yeah.
It looks a little different
each blast there.
Oh, that was the end of the grind, that's why. Okay.
Oh, right.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, so once Trunks is at level 30, then he's chilling, then we switch to Piccolo, and we have to get him to level 25. And this is the part where the game expects you to be about level 25 already. But you are only, I think, like, I don't even know, at this point with Piccolo, maybe like level 16, 17, something like that.
Yeah,
you're really under-leveled and you do bad damage. They might mention what level he's at this point, but we'll see. Some more quick lore dump. We found the creature's remains, cell shed in his skin. Piccolo fusing with Kami. This actually gives Piccolo a transformation in the game similar to Super Saiyan. Super Namekian gives you, I think, +6 on all stats whenever you transform, so that's pretty good. Super Saiyan, they mentioned earlier, gives you +10 on all stats and a lot of movement speed.
But his stats don't change at all, or do they? Like, I know for the transformation, but I'm saying just for this, like,
yeah, like on
fusion.
top of that, nah. Unless I don't know if you gotta level up.
In a way, you gotta level up, but
yeah. If you get a level up, then it does change at that point. But yeah, it'll add that buff of +6 after the transformation as well.
Oh, he takes more damage.
Yeah, it's sus. But the trade-off is he does regen HP, which is nice. You know, if you're sitting there putting an enemy in a wombo combo, then you're just regenerating while it's happening, like this. But he's gotta be transformed. But yeah, this is where we grind in RTA. We grind Trunks here as well. It's probably easier for Piccolo to grind here because there's less danger. But yeah, they're mentioning
this is just for
Piccolo's
a level door, right?
Worst. Yes. In order to progress the game, you have to fight Cell, and that's where Special Beam Cannon is nice. You can just chunk multiple enemies. That's why I get that power capsule.
And
it gives a little bit more damage to
the best part of like level training your characters is that you just have infinite ki.
Yeah, because every time you level up, you get full ki back. So you can just kind of take a full advantage of that Special Beam Cannon. It's really nice. I wonder if they're using the key blast to try to, you know, push them out of the way so that they're not kind of bombarding them while they're grinding. Scatter shot is primarily for positioning. DPS can be outdone by a crit rate. Interesting.
Oh!
Whoa!
No
nice.
scope! That had to be for something.
Oh, yeah. It's probably just for, like, stat manip, something like that, because they want to get as good of stats as they can get on level up, so I'm sure that had a lot to do with that there. Yeah, once they're close to level 25, the EXP bar is beneath the health and key. It's the little blue bar.
Oh, you got the guy
Just
all the
hit
way in the
25.
back.
Yep. So now we don't have to kill any more enemies, but it looks like they're gonna... Oh, wait, yeah, no. You want to get right before a level for Cell and RTA, at least. It looks like they didn't do so here. But usually you get right before a level in Cell so that you get fully regenerated after the fight, because you have to fight 17 right afterward.
Can you imagine? Sir, you must be this strong to enter this city.
Gatekeeping me, dude. This fight is kind of hard. Like, in true Dragon Ball game fashion, Cell is a menace. He can just kind of latch onto you with his little stinger thing and absorb your ki, reduce your transformation time.
See if he uses the key there. Yep, he does.
Yep. Yeah, looks like they're gonna manip and a key drop from the rock so that they get ki back. I think there's 2 phases to this fight. I don't remember. No, it's just this one, right? You do want to have Piccolo with ki remaining, though, because the game remembers how much ki you had left over at the end of the fight. Unless, you know, if he would have gained enough EXP to level up from that fight, it would have been fine, but it was faster for them to not do that, so...
So everyone losing arms in the show, man.
I know, man. Tien,
If people really
Piccolo.
can teach Gohan how to do that.
Gohan, yeah. Like father, like son, as they say.
Yep.
So yeah, Piccolo's just like, yeah, man, this dude's Cell is no joke, bruh. I'm not messing with this guy. So now we're back as Trunks. You see that he has the same ki remaining as he did before. So
With
we'll probably
Piccolo?
just get a quick, yeah,
Or
like
as
right before
when
the
he was last
grind.
Trunks.
Yeah, when he was last Trunks.
Okay. That's what I thought.
Yep. So I think we're going back to the mountains to destroy Gero's lab. Yeah. So this is where we were with Vegeta beforehand, but we don't have to do any of the chasing Gero, any of the extra fighting. We're just running straight through to the lab. It's like a straight shot, pretty much.
Don't forget Vegeta getting his arm broken. I don't know why that, like, he didn't even lose the arm, but that was like one of the most brutal ones. Like...
Honestly, yeah, man. Like, Android 18 gave him the work. So yeah, that's a good level up there for +2 strength. Yeah, we just run straight forward here to go straight into the lab. Like normally with Vegeta, we go left, we go right. Here we have it open, so we're just going back to the lab and we're gonna get rid of it. So these big guys look like intimidating, but they are really garbage. Like we don't have to worry about them at all. And then here, just gonna get a little bit of cutscene memes. More lore dumping. Krillin moves up or left immediately after destroying the cell. You can leave this room 3 frames faster. Good luck spending less than 3 frames on that minute. That's funny.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
No, it's so funny the stuff the taskers find out. Just
I know, right?
because they're looking at every single frame on a counter, so they can tell when it's 3 frames slower. You just never know.
Yeah, to the naked eye, 3 frames doesn't even look like a time loss or save. You're just like, oh yeah, you know, it's normal.
So now in future runs, if you don't get that 3 frame time save, you're gonna reset.
Oh yeah, hard reset, easy.
It's like, oh my god, Krillin. All right, boys, let's run it back.
Master Roshi's Island. So this place is pretty cool because Master Roshi can teach everyone a special attack. If you talk to him, he'll teach you a technique. So
Sweet.
every character has one. Piccolo's is actually probably the highest damaging one. But
Spin punch.
Yeah. Hits 4 times with 50% more damage than a normal punch and can crit. So it is cracked. Like,
Each individual hit can crit.
Yeah. It can melt bosses. Like, the only problem with it is that the hitbox is very small, and it's like on top of Piccolo. You know how the punches are like a huge hitbox in front of you or to the side of you? The spin punch is like just kind of a little tiny circle around Piccolo, so it's hard to put an enemy in a position where you're close enough to hit all of the hits of the spin punch. So when you hit them with one hit, it's going to push them.
Mm-hmm.
So normally the spin punch usually only acts like one punch because it's just hard to line it up, but you can kind of put enemies in positions in between walls or things like that where the spin will hit all the hits and it does a ton of damage. So I wonder if they're going to do that here as well.
Yeah, I never knew you could do that as a kid. I never learned that move. There's no way.
Oh, no, man. Like, I think I might have actually gotten the attack, but I had no clue how to use it properly. I'd always get destroyed trying. Yo, the gamer dabs. What's up, man? Yeah, the homies, the drink in the cup, are going into the hyperbolic time chamber to fill up. So they are going to be training in the mountains over there for the equivalent of like 2 years.
Right.
We're out here fighting Cell. Piccolo is going to be fighting 17, actually. So this is where things get a little bit dicey for the run, too. This fight is tough because you really want to stay transformed the entire fight. You want to end the fight quick enough to where your transformation doesn't run out on the second phase, because there's 2 phases. It can be tough here, but the TAS is going to make this look easy.
When they were balancing this game, did they like, yeah, people are probably going to be very low level with Piccolo here, or did they not really take that into account? Are they pretty much normal strength?
I don't think so. I don't think they took that into account so much because there's not really any like scaling. Because normally, you know, if they think of something like that, they're gonna be, oh, let's scale the enemy with your level. It's not like that. It's like if you're not a high enough level, you're just not gonna deal as much damage as them, and they're gonna outclass you really easily.
I guess I was just assuming that like the androids or like Cell, they just all progressively get stronger as you go throughout the game,
Yeah.
but your characters might not be.
Yeah, exactly. Because you have to grind each character individually. It's not like you share experience or anything.
Oh,
But yeah, that's a good example of getting them stuck on the wall and doing tons of damage. Yeah,
415.
it's a ton. Like that was a super fast fight. You can actually get fights that fast in RTA too. Like that's the cool thing.
I bet.
If they get stuck, you can shred them.
Spin to win.
Yeah, the faster you spin to win, the more key you have left to keep spinning and keep winning. So there's the second phase here. They'll probably manip some kind of key drop from the rocks. So there's a couple big rocks here in this area that you fly to. There's like 3. It's like they're just kind of taking 17 for a ride first, but there's the key regeneration. In the RTA, we use the Sensu Bean here just to give us full key and keep the transform, heal us if we need it. But they're probably just going to keep picking up the rocks or end the fight before they even need to. Oh, there you go. That was sick.
No, that is so crazy. Like,
yeah,
my mind's kind of being blown of like, I didn't know you could do that, man.
Yeah,
I didn't know you could do that.
So, yep. Cell's going to do the Cell thing. He's going to absorb the androids and become perfect. Actually, I think he's going to become second form first.
Right.
He doesn't get 18 until later.
And then we need, you know, Vegeta to get his, well, rock his shit and then get his shit rocked.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to do the classic, you know, thumb, the thumb pointing to himself and to get bodied combo. Yeah, Piccolo gets knocked. 16's kind of chatted, so, you know, he kind of comes through for a bit. Tien is a Chad. He comes through. But, unfortunately, he can't hold it down for too long.
I feel like they did Tien so dirty. He should got stronger like everybody else.
I think so too. Same with Yamcha, man. Like, I love Tien and Yamcha, but they got mad left behind in Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. Like, they got Yoshi in the World Tournament, or like the final tournament.
Yeah.
Before anybody else.
Alright, my boy's gonna do some bootleg tri-beams just to keep Cell in place here. But he can't do it for too much longer. He's running out of key meter. Rip.
Yup.
But our boy Goku is here. Taking the homies back. And yeah, now Vegeta and Trunks are going to get out of the time chamber. And you're only going to be allowed to use them because Piccolo's out of commission. Gohan's in the chamber with Goku. So you only have access to Vegeta and Trunks once this happens. But we're going to be using Vegeta primarily, I believe. Actually, I don't know. They might use Trunks because his stats are so insane.
True. Like, that's a lot of strength.
I believe you have to use Vegeta because Vegeta is the character that has the level door that's blocking progression. So Vegeta is still like level 20, I don't know, 27, 26, something like that. He's a low level compared to Trunks, who's level 30 now. But Vegeta has his own level 30 door, so you're actually going to have to go to Florida with Vegeta and start grinding.
Man, my perception of the show is so warped because I think the last time I interacted with Cell Saga was Abridged.
Abridged did a great job in the Cell Saga, though. I'm not gonna lie.
I misremember how things actually went sometimes, and I think Abridged is the real thing.
The lines get blurred real easily.
Yeah.
Abridged. Yeah, so this is something that they're mentioning here, is that they've learned a couple new abilities. Sword Blast with Trunks is like a 2-hit attack that uses power and physical, I believe. Yeah, both hits use strength, it says, actually. But right here, we're just doing a huge Gator grind with Vegeta, so he needs to get to level 30.
Oh my god.
These big bangs are cracked. I actually didn't even think about using them in that way. I'm sure that would be better for the run.
Is he going to fly back or just keep continuing?
He's gonna keep continuing, probably, if I had to guess.
Okay.
You don't really need to get that many levels. I think you need to get like 5 or 6 levels or something like that, and you can get that as you're moving to the goalposts. But yeah.
Would you say the Big Bang is like bigger than it appears, or about as big as it appears?
I think it's a little bit bigger than it appears. It has a huge radius. It may be that it's bigger, or it may be that the enemy's hurt box is just large, so that it kind of catches a lot of stuff. I'm not sure which one it is. But yeah, he's actually taking an alternate route than I'm used to taking. These saber-toothed tigers, yeah, that's huge. You see, it's not even traveling, but it's hitting everything in the back. So I think it is the Big Bang hitbox. But the saber-toothed tigers, man, their attack is ruthless. Like, they lunge at you, and a lot of enemies in this game attack frame perfectly. Like, they attack based on position. So they're like, oh, I'm exactly in position to hit him. Yeah, so they're gonna like frame perfectly put you in the infinite, and it's tough sometimes. I lose a lot of time to the split sometimes just to enemies like them.
And you, as the Z fighter, do not have a lot of range when it comes to punches.
No, not at all, surprisingly. Yeah, the reason that they avoided Super Saiyan here, yeah, this is the energy punch I was talking about. It does a ton of damage. But they avoided running around in Super Saiyan because now we're like Ascended Super Saiyan, which slows you down, makes you really bulky. So it's actually slower to move in this form than it is regular form.
More accurate.
I also wanted to save it for this fight. Yeah, definitely.
I mean, they really did try to be accurate as many times as they could.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they had to make certain like little side quests to maybe add to it, but as far as the main story goes, for sure.
Yeah. The main story is told really well in this series. I really appreciate the fact that they paid attention to the little details and fit it on a Game Boy cartridge. It was nice. Yeah, now we got Perfect Cell. 18 got absorbed, and Trunks, unfortunately, is seeing his worst nightmares come true, and you're forced to play as him because Vegeta is about to throw. Rip. Buddy,
I loved Vegeta up until this point in the show. I'm like, man,
Yeah, you're like, man, come on, dude.
There's gonna be more stronger enemies. Just wait another season. But we can.
Oh my lord, that was fast. So
yeah.
he's using Trunks' Sword Slash, which is honestly really hard to use in RTA because the timing for that charge attack is like way different than the other ones. Like it kind of takes a little bit longer to let go and attack with. So if you let go of the charge early, it just stops you. Like you don't even throw out an attack, you just stand still.
Oh.
So if you don't time it perfectly, you're missing out on a lot of damage and you're getting hit for a lot of damage
That's
yourself.
awful.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah,
But,
easy fight, easy
so
life.
fast.
Moving on.
Got hella crits there. Lots of crits. Just kind of cleaned up Cell like nothing. Yeah, we're doing our epic side quest time now. Actually, I'm not sure if... Yeah, okay, it looks like they're grabbing it. So, yeah, you have to grab the Dragon Radar because the Dragon Radar, you have to collect the Dragon Balls before the Cell games. So, looks like he's talking to Bulma to get that for you. You have to get the Scouter first because she's going to give you the Scouter. So, he'll probably come back for the Radar later on. But you're going to see Cell's broadcasts, you know, him saying, "Oh, I'm hosting the games. Come down and fight in the games, gamers." So we're just going up to the apartment to watch the broadcast. Got to go through Capsule Corp. This is another
Can't be
cool
a good video
area
game without a staircase.
Yeah, for sure. And the stairs are horrible to move on in this game. But it's cool that they put so much detail into the Capsule Corp too. Like the whole apartment. There's like different levels with the lab. You can go to like scientists' rooms and stuff. It's awesome.
Love Trunks entering the room like, hey guys.
So yeah, here's the Dragon Ball segment. So this is where we actually get Goku. This is where Goku's unlocked. I think Goku's stats are decided once the screen appears. And yeah, Goku can have a pretty variable stat range as well. If you get a bad Goku, your run's pretty much over in RTA. Like, you have to use Goku a lot for this segment too. And you can lose multiple minutes, but 63 strength, 65 power is cracked, dude.
Wait, that's not
what
fair.
I should have taken, 65 strength.
Dude, that's not even what is the point of that? Like, it's not even like, oh, I'll give you more power. You just lose everything. You lose all like stats, and it's just bad. Yeah. It's like, do you want good stats or bad stats?
I think it's really funny. The icon looks like a shovel. That's a funny little comment. But yeah, it's interesting they took this Goku over 65 strength Goku. They had mentioned that they were trying to make the key attacks useful for the TAS. The key attacks can be very good, but yeah, the punches and the charge attack with Goku are insanely high DPS. So I wonder what they're going to end up doing with it. It's funny, in my PB, I had the highest stat roll for Goku.
Oh, really?
So cracked. Yeah.
You just
I had 65.
How did you know? Do you check? Do you check manually?
Yeah, I only check for Goku because at that point I'm not about to waste like another 30 minutes just to find out I'm losing 3 minutes.
I mean, wouldn't you just be able to tell by the damage rolls that you're getting, or
not really? Because in the segments that we do in RTA, we go to an area where the enemies have such low defense that your damage numbers are not really readable as well. But this segment right here is probably the hardest segment in the entire game because you are grinding to level 25 with a level 8 Gohan.
Yeah,
so you're fighting like level 30 Gators. Yeah.
Is coming in clutch now.
You're only doing like 50 damage, and this is because of Super Saiyan. If you didn't have Super Saiyan, you'd be hitting for like 20.
At least you're getting heal ups a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, you get them very quickly, but the problem is you get like 2 or 3 shotted by these guys.
Oh my.
So if they decide, hey man, this is a little frame perfect spot I'm gonna stand in and just kind of clap you a couple times, like it can end you real quick. So this is a very delicate grind segment. It's very bad. In my PB, I lost like 40 here because I died early on, just barely. I was about to Senzu Bean, but couldn't make it in time. Yeah, we're just getting him up to a decent enough level to fight Cell, because you're going to be fighting Cell in the Cell games with this Gohan at whatever level you last had him at. So the whole point of doing this grind is to pick up the Dragon Ball first and foremost, and also just to get to a decent level. And Looks like the strength stat manip is going pretty well. Getting a lot of strength ups. So that's nice.
Even more reason that you need that early game good Gohan.
Yeah, exactly. The more stats you have off the start, like the better it helps you later on. So this is the Ninja Fortress. This is pretty much each Dragon Ball area has like a character-specific location you have to go to. They want you to do this area with Vegeta, but I'm pretty sure they're going to do it with Goku, if I'm not mistaken. That's what we do in RTA. We break that level door with Vegeta, then switch to Goku here. Yeah. Because Goku's stats are just cracked. Like, the damage is so ridiculous. Like, it makes sense to use him. So, the movement here is very hard. There's lots of obstacles everywhere.
It's so satisfying, though, with Super Saiyan.
Oh, yeah. The speed is great.
I love just going Super Saiyan in these games and just run along. Wow, he's amazing, like, insanely strong.
Yeah, the charge attack is OP. Like, you can hit like 1,000 damage with it. Like, it's really good.
Dang.
But yeah, the Ninja Fortress is kind of painful. It's very focused on maintaining your energy because you want to stay Super Saiyan for the entire time if you can. So that means you can't be slow about killing enemies. You can't you know, be bad with your movements, anything like that. All that has to be on point so that you don't lose Super Saiyan, because if you do, you have to wait for that little yellow triangle to recharge, and you're going to be doing a lot less damage. Yeah, we have to go through these separate rooms to 4 hours of effort for 8 seconds of gameplay in this room. That's crazy.
Oh my.
Yeah, that was, wow. Yeah, that was insane. Normally you take those guys out one by one because they're annoying in that they will throw shurikens at you forever if they see you from far away. So you want to kind of get them up, like get right in their face and take them out individually rather than have one spot you and start throwing stuff at you.
So is there a level door that you'll need to open for Goku?
Yes, so the final level door for the Cell games has to be opened by Goku at level 40. So this is partially why we're killing so many things here as well, is so that we can actually get to the end of the game. Yeah, the EXP routing here is very tight as well to maintain Super Saiyan. If you kind of, you know, defeat the wrong enemies or you miss a guy or something like that, you will most likely revert from Super Saiyan and you're going to have a bad time. You're going to be fighting General Tao is like the gatekeeper of this area, which is kind of funny that they incorporate like some of the filler lore and stuff like that into the run or into the game. But yeah, here we're going into the domain to get the last Dragon Ball, or the Dragon Ball of this area. Normally we get this one last, but it looks like they came here a little early. These robots are a pain. They blow up on you when you defeat them. Any robot that looks like that does, and it can kind of, you know, push you around a bunch and deplete your energy really easily. So yeah, this is Tao. He's about to get melted by this charge attack.
Yeah, that thing is
good.
Cleared.
Oh yeah. And yeah, like, you usually want to try to defeat him as close to the top of the room as possible, because he drops the Dragon Ball where he's defeated. So if you're close to the exit and he drops it, you know, then you get to save a little bit of time.
Guessing those flamethrower guys are not very good for experience.
No, definitely not. They have too much HP for their EXP given. These guys and the robots are much better and easier to defeat.
It's funny because I used to always farm those guys in Boo's Fury. I don't know if they're a lot better in that game. They are different
in Boo's. Yeah, they have a lot more EXP in that game.
Okay, that's probably why.
Yep. Yeah, cleanly going through the homies there. Surprised they haven't leveled up yet. I wonder if they're going to do it in the Snowy Mountains. Looks like it. Yeah, they're heading straight there. So the Snowy Mountains, you have to defeat a couple enemies as well because they're in the way. Snowy Highlands. This is another spot that you go through with Goku in the RTA as well. But yeah, there's a couple guys. Lots of dudes will be blocking your path here. They'll probably just clear them just for the level up. There you go. That was probably the level 40. That's the other level 40 door. So there you go. There's the Dragon Ball. It's really not that deep into this area.
No, it's not. But yeah, even more reason to use Goku in that earlier section when you open the door as Vegeta.
Yeah, sometimes whenever you touch that like flying pad, it'll still input a punch, even though you're flying. So that's what we saw there.
All right, the land of the Smurfs is over. Next.
Yep. Now this is the mountains here. Same one that Trunks went to, but now we're fighting dinos. This actually gets dicey. Just a little bit in RTA because these dinosaurs are very strong. Even though you're pretty strong with Goku normally at this point. The dinosaurs just do so much damage, man. So if you get stuck in a corner or something like that, you are going to be in trouble. So yeah, there's a lot of like twists and turns in this area, and it makes it easy to get stuck or to run into these guys, because these guys will kind of stop and charge at you full speed. Kind of like that. But yeah, you're going to have to fight a big Triceratops as well. Yeah, he's just going to push him out of the way like, get out of here, dude. I don't got time for you, dude.
It's going after him.
Yeah.
They did a good job of making certain enemies very intimidating.
Oh yeah, they definitely did. The big guys especially. Yeah, that was nice. Usually, you know, your movement has to be super on point here as well, because if you're off, then their patterns of movement are going to be off, and your lines aren't going to be safe to take, if that makes sense. Like, you can't take a safe straight line to run or something. Yeah, now we're just going to go up this way because there's a map to leave up here. So it's easier than going back to the start to just leave that way. And this is the starting area. This is the place that we normally come to first in RTA, just because, you know, we're such, you know, higher level than the stuff here that it's safe to come here first. And Goku has a level 35 door there, so you get him at level 35. So it just kind of made sense. Yeah, this is where, like, you'll see if he punches a character, it's going to do, like, 1,000 damage or something ridiculous that you can't really gauge how well you're doing. Oh, he's only doing, like, 300. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Probably about 350 for a really good Goku. I've hit those guys for, like, 190 once, and I was like, oh, I'm just turning off the console. It's over.
Yeah, that's awful.
Yeah, just hitting switches to unlock the door that's protecting the Dragon Ball here. There's actually ninjas hiding behind those trees. They did a really good job at, like, designing the environments and the enemies within them, because you can't even tell the ninjas there looking at that screen, but there are 2 ninjas on that screen.
All right, another one.
There we go. There we go.
I don't even know how many we're at this point. Was it 4?
I think he has 2 left, or 3. Yeah, something like that. We still have to get the one in West City, and I think Gingertown. Yeah, just 2.
Oh.
Yeah, West City and Gingertown are like right next to each other, so it's easy to just grab all 3 of those back to back. This is the grind spot. We're just gonna breeze through it though, because we're already the level we need to be.
Probably just picking up drops for key.
Yeah, just to keep ourselves in Super Saiyan for that movement speed. Going down, interesting.
Oh, it's a different route than you normally take.
Yeah, normally I go up. But yeah, I mean, that's fine too. It's about the same amount of screens and movement, I think.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty thorough,
yeah.
so it must be at least a couple frames quicker, if not
yeah,
more.
I'm sure it's faster to go that way, for sure, if they're doing it, but it's not very many, like, extra loads or anything. I think it's just, like, a shorter room, something like that. Straight lines. Yeah, picked up that Dragon Ball real quick. It's just... These Dragon Balls are the ones that are, like, less story-centric. They're kind of just hanging around. Just go through, pick them up, dip.
All right, one more.
Yeah, this one is very easy to get. Getting the Warlord's Domain Dragon Ball last lets you use Super Saiyan in West City. Interesting. Yeah, because you still have all of your ki and everything. Yeah, normally we'd be picking Gohan here. Sometimes you can do a little bit of extra grind with Gohan in this area. I don't do that strat myself. I just switch to Gohan and use his Super Saiyan instead of Goku's, because we wouldn't have Goku's left over in RTA. But we still get Gohan's movement. That's the last Dragon Ball, and now that we have all that, we're going to take him to Dende, get Dende's blessing, let him stand on the sidelines in case anything gets suspicious.
Yeah.
We're going to go ahead and fight the final boss and everything.
Here we go. I'm excited to see how this plays out. Probably just be a wash per usual, but
oh yeah, definitely. But man, let me tell you, many a run has died here.
Really? Oh, that's heartbreaking, bro.
Salute to the runs that died to the freaking Cell Juniors, man. They are like this big. They're like so tiny.
Oh.
And their hitbox is still gigantic. It's still the same size as a regular punch, but they are like so much harder to hit. So, especially with characters like Piccolo, who are really low level, you have to fight like level 40 Cell Juniors with level 25 Piccolo or something.
So the issue isn't even Cell as much as Cell Juniors?
Yeah, 100%. Like, you do have to fight like a cracked level 40 Cell with level 25 Gohan, which is also hard, but he has Super Saiyan. He has a good charge attack for like keeping Cell locked down, so it's not as scary. The Cell Juniors are really evil, man. Yeah, just like Budokai, just like any game that they're in, they are a menace. 100%.
Let's go, Hercule.
Yo, the GOAT. We won't even need to fight Cell at this rate.
I think he wore him down at least a little bit.
Just a little bit. Alright, so we're going in with Goku. It's interesting that they're using Super Saiyan for this, because usually we don't use Super Saiyan in RTA, because the transformation bar, that yellow bar, is shared between characters.
Okay.
So if Goku reverts right now and I switch to Gohan, Gohan's not going to have the yellow meter to transform with. But yeah, it's interesting. That was extremely fast because of Super Saiyan.
Melted him.
Yeah, but it must mean that they're going to be doing the Cell portion without it. Or the Cell Juniors portion, rather, because you got to do that first. Oh, no, yeah, you do it with Gohan first. And then after that, you fight a Cell Junior with each of your playable characters. So yeah, here we go. Looks like we'll see what they end up doing.
Is there not a game that Cell Juniors aren't annoying in? Like,
I don't think so.
I
really don't believe so. So it looks like they're just doing standard punch loops. I think it's harder to punch loop Cell in RTA because he slides so much more than other characters, and his hitbox isn't as big. So if he gets pushed in a weird direction, he can immediately smack you and do like 100 damage. You get two-shotted by Cell here. So it's very hard to keep him locked down the way they're doing it right now. That was good. They were probably manipulating some crits. I saw them like going up and down really fast in between each punch. Probably just get some extra damage in there.
They probably got, at this point, they're probably closer to an expert of the RNG manipulation.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's funny how
compared
they're
to
just
the
kind of learning
beginning
as
of
they
the
went.
TAS.
Yeah. Rip 16. You were a real one. You love birds and stuff, bro. We gotta get it. We gotta get some revenge for our boy. He does look small. Just a small boy. Yeah, this is terrible. They have a small hurt box and take a lot of
oh my gosh.
knockbacks,
Yeah,
so
you can see how close he
quickly can
gets
be difficult.
to even hit it.
Yeah, you have to be very close. Most of the time when my runs would die to these Cell Juniors, it would be with Piccolo.
Okay, we're gaming.
But that was great. Yeah, we were super gaming. He gains enough EXP to level up 2 times. That's how low of a level he is.
Wow.
And then Vegeta here, yeah, the energy punch is cracked. It does a ton of damage. You don't even need to transform to Super Saiyan with him because of that. It just does so much.
Oh.
Little victory dance, you know.
Stun on him.
So they still don't have enough transformation for Trunks either. So they're probably just gonna use the sword. It's honestly kind of slow.
This seems to be working plenty fine.
Oh yeah. Oh, the swag finish. There you go.
Love it.
Yeah, so this is basically the end. This is the final fight here, or these last 2 bits. It's like 2 phases.
Well, will he be Super Saiyan now as Gohan, or is that just did that do nothing? What he just did there at the end?
Yeah, that did nothing because it's kind of like a scripted fight. It'll force you into Super Saiyan 2. Right. So yeah, you see the 16 death play out and everything. Gohan starts molding, and now we have Super Saiyan 2. So Super Saiyan 2 puts all of your stats to 100. It doesn't look like that on the little tracker because they're still using the OG stats, but if they were to pause the game and look at their stats, they're maxed out, all of them. So Cell just gets wiped. Like, even in RTA, he gets destroyed. You pretty much can't die here if you make it this far. You can, but you'd have to mess up really bad.
It's more impressive to die than to live.
Yeah, exactly. But no, not necessarily transformation storage. He just kind of transformed because he could. The game will just let you do it. It's like, yeah, man, here you go. Lore accurate. Super Saiyan 2. Definitely the greatest crash out. Yeah, now Cell went, blew up King Kai and Goku, destroyed Trunks. Everybody's just getting destroyed over here.
Yep.
And we're going to get even more match. So, yeah, we're just going to destroy him real quick. Really, you only have to do this last bit of the fight. And once this is over, the run is done. And all we have left are, like, story beats. And we have to go to Kami's Lookout to end the run. Yeah, you know, just lore dumping stuff. He's like, come on, Gohan, you can do it, man.
Oh, he knows he can do it.
Oh,
he's doing something.
So yeah, once you see this Kamehameha, you are wiping sweat off your brow. You're like, it's over. I made it. I got through the struggle. That's the last like actual fight that you need to do in the run. So that's the meat and potatoes of it. We gotta watch this little cutscene play out and everything because the run isn't officially over until we talk to Dende to make our wishes and everything. So
I don't think the TAS ends until the credits are completely done playing or something like that.
The credits are fire. There's like a really sick original song for him and everything. So hey, I respect that. The boys are getting destroyed out here too. Vegeta's kind of like...
What's all the post-game that's available in this game that you wouldn't see in the speedrun?
Yeah, so the post-game is like, there's in the Capsule Corp, in the backyard of the Capsule Corp, you can go in there, and there's like these podiums set up for statues, and you get these statues by maxing out your level on each character, level 50. Mm-hmm. Each character, other than Goku, I believe, because he gets removed from the party at this point. The other 4 characters... once they get to level 50, they have like their own little mini dungeon to get through, and then they can collect the statues. Once you get all those statues, you can unlock Hercule, and Hercule has like a secret ending you can do with him. Other than that, you can collect all the Namekians. The Namekians are spread out, and you can repopulate new Namek with them. You can fight Cooler if you do that, and then I believe there are like golden capsules you can collect. There's like 100 of them or something, and I forget what you get for the golden capsules. I don't really remember the reward because it's been so long since I've done that. But that's another like little collectible thing.
For the post game, you lose Goku and you get Hercule.
Yeah, you get the true goat. You know, Legacy of Hercule, dude. Yeah, there you go. That's the end of the RTA run right there. So once you get there, it's all story stuff, you know. They're wishing people back to life and helping Android 18, all the cool stuff they do in the show. Let's actually see what the golden capsules do. Oh, right. You get a golden capsule yourself, and that golden capsule basically works as a world map teleport. So if you get all 100 golden capsules, you get one, and that one will let you go to the world map wherever, whenever you want. So it's kind of cool.
Also, yeah, the final time for this task is 1:25:23, which is like nearly a 2-minute improvement over Bone Crushers. This is ASDQ's task. Also, I misspoke earlier. I believe task timing ends on final input. So like pretty much right when the credits start.
That makes sense, yeah. So it's even faster than we think in terms of RTA. Yeah, because the run is technically not over until the credits begin.
Yep.
Just depends on, how the leaderboard wants it.
Yeah.
For us on the RTA
I mean,
side.
most of the times you do last meaningful input, but like some purists will be like, but there could be a difference in frames amongst those text boxes. It's like, yeah,
like text mashing is a skill, bro. It's like, I guess, but I mean.
Oh yeah, because this person isn't super like involved with like the task community or anything like that. They just did this on their own accord. Like they just wanted to do it. They said, I'm not really sure when to end timing though. The last input before the credits is on this frame, so it's actually I guess a 1:20:04. But then the timing stops upon closing the thanks for playing text box. So there's a text box at the end that they felt obligated to close, making it 1:25:23. So there you go.
That must mean that this is actually sub 120 in RTA terms, which is
probably
ridiculous. I think my time is like 128.
Not to make you feel inferior, but what's the PB?
Yeah, let me check. Nah, dude. You gotta pay respect where it's due. I totally understand. This run is insane. So yeah, I have a 138. 138 in RTA, and that's record. That run beat the record that stood for 7 years.
How optimal?
Yeah, it's cracked. The previous run was 139.26 by Lost Core. Shout out to them. They're an insanely good runner. I learned a lot of stuff from them. Just their strategies and their PB themselves. But yeah, a whole like 20 minutes off the RTA time just from being frame perfect and manipulation and all that is pretty crazy.
And there it is.
That's it.
Essentially the end.
Yep.
But no, that task was so sick. Hope you guys enjoyed watching that. That was dope. Big thanks to Glitch for joining me on commentary here. That made the experience all the more fun for me, and I'm sure you guys as well. If you like this dude, he streams quite regularly and plays like a bunch of different ARPGs and just anime related games in general. So his Twitch is glitched with 2 Ds at the end. That'll be in the description of the YouTube VOD if you guys are watching that, or the YouTube live stream. Big shout outs to him for joining me, and I'm gonna have to bring this dude back for Boo's Fury. We will figure out another time to do that works with both of our schedules. So yeah, thanks for joining us, guys. I personally though am going to head off. No Twitch stream today. I am gonna go hang out with some friends for the night, and then I'll be back tomorrow with some more Samurai Jack. But yeah, I will have to do Dragon Ball Z sagas. Dude, I mean, you're welcome to join me for sagas, man, if you want to sometime.
Hey, I don't know, could be real, man. I've been wanting to try it out.
You don't have to play the game before. You could just like be like, what am I looking at, bro? that could be pretty fun.
Sagas run. Yeah.
DVM's been asking for me to watch his record back, and the only guy that's probably played sagas more than me.
Dude, let's go DBM.
In the planet,
grinder
honestly.
right there. Heck yeah, dude.
All right, well, that being said, guys, thank you for tuning in. I will I'm not sure when the next one of these streams will be, but I'll have something interesting for you guys here soon. All right, thank you so much, and I'll catch you on next time. Peace.